Hello and welcome everyone, duckyobrien here, and today I'll be bringing you guys a preview of a game called SpellForce 3 Fallen God. This is the standalone expansion pack or DLC or whatever you want to call it for SpellForce 3. You don't need the main game to play it. You're gonna miss out on some of the story, but other than that, it's totally playable by itself. Anyways, let's get into it. SpellForce 3 Fallen God was developed by Grimlore Games. It's published by THQNordic. It was released onto the PC on November 3rd, 2020 with the MSRP of $24.99. Man, this is sort of like a RTS Lite. You're mainly focusing on controlling the heroes for the campaign at the very least. For versus mode, there's more RTS-like elements going in. I'm just going to show off the campaign mode for this video. I just want to start off by saying there is a lot of lore and there's a lot of voice acting. If you don't like that, you can skip all of that. But I would highly recommend checking it out because it does a very good job of creating this world and giving a lot of backstory and like fleshing out these characters. Story is about these trolls, and they are suffering from being hunted by humans who they call brittle bones, and they are also suffering from a disease that makes them very weak, and the children will die before they get to grow old. Anyways, I want to get into it. I'm gonna start a new solo campaign. You can play another scenario, but we're gonna stick with this. Go in normal.
When fate decides, a troll must bow, Chieftain Narjak Firstborn told his cub. Akrog must carry the tribe now. Narjak has spoken. Slowly, Akrog looked up from the bloody mud. Akrog cannot. He is not ready. Narjak's gaze was like fog. Take care of them, cub. Them and him. Both.
So Narjak, there's so much lore. I'm gonna try to go over as much as I can. But Narjak is chief of the Moonkin. I believe that's the name of the tribe. I forgot. We'll see it soon. And they call him the Firstborn because he is part of the original trolls that crossed the ocean to this new land. And then Akrog is his son. It's kind of cool, but trolls, when they have children, they don't take care of their own children because, they might develop some favoritism toward their own bloodline, and they're supposed to treat all of the tribe equally, so they don't raise their own kids. And the chieftain, his line is, Narjak has spoken, kind of like the Mandalorian have spoken. There's a lot of lore. There's so much. And then, when they're brothers, they call the older one Big Blood, and then the younger one Little Blood, Same blood is like family. And when you start, you get to kind of customize your characters. Akrog is the main character, son of the chieftain, and he's supposed to lead his tribe. Now, there's a lot of customization you can do. You can do the appearance, and then you can select an additional ability tree. You have two, your default one. You can pick one more. You can be a necromancer if you want. What's its way of crushing things? Oh, we'll just pick whatever. Alright, we're gonna pick this. And then you have 10 attribute points to distribute. If you look here, you need strength to be 7 to be able to use most heavy strength weapons and shields. If you go dexterity 6, you can use most javelins. Intelligence 6 will allow you to wear most robes. Constitution 9 will let you wear super heavy armor. And willpower 6 will also let you wear magical robes. Now, strength affects damage, dexterity, basically how well you can block. Obviously dex weapons as well. Intelligence is for obviously spells. Constitution is your health, and willpower determines how well you can resist the effects of other, I guess, debuffs. Well, let's try all Constitution. I'm not. This is not my serious playthrough, but you know. You got Zaska Small Tusk, which is the trusted one of Akrog. Trusted ones are kind of like, that's what it is as it sounds. The most trusted troll they have in the tribe, kind of like a best buddy. Okay, we'll make him. He's a thrower, so we'll just do that, and we'll just max out. You don't want to max out dexterity. You kind of want some Constitution. Oh, bow strength. Okay. Noag is Akrog's younger brother. He's very hot-headed. He's only like 5 years old, I think. It's incredible. He doesn't have intelligence unlocked, which is hilarious. He's gonna all be strength. Oh, actually, that's strength 7 and Constitution. All right. And he's kind of unique in that he has a skill tree that changes based on how you teach Noag. So you can kind of let him go into being a super angry loner, which will give your character passive bonuses that are different, or you can teach him to be more gentle and oriented for kind of like taking care of the tribe. You get more team-based bonuses then. All right. Is that it? Okay. Akrog. Where's... yeah. Grungar. It's not Grungar. Is it? I guess he is. He's kind of like the wise shaman. He's the grandpa of the bunch. Okay, you got magic here. Is Grungar? Yeah, why is he dex heavy? I don't understand. Oh, this is not Grungar. That is a little weird. Doesn't have stats. Who am I missing? Oh, Zaska Small Tusk. Didn't I give him a way of throwing things? Yeah. Oh, I spec'd him. Oh, I confused Zaska with Grungar. It's fine. Okay. One attribute? There we go. A little confused there. And start. I'll let this play. So your father got killed by humans.
Shield the tribe and shield Noag. Those were Chieftain Narjak's last words to his cub Akrog after a ballista bolt from the Tusk Hunters pierced right through his chest. Fabled warrior, leader of the Moonkin Trolls, last of the mythical firstborn, killed by elven poachers. It was not only Narjak's heart the bolt impaled that day, but also that of the Moonkin tribe, weakened by the terrible blood-rot plague and decimated by the hunters. They had long been struggling for survival. With their mighty chieftain gone, the last ray of hope still shining was Noag, Akrog's younger sibling who had inherited Narjak's legendary power. The chieftain's wish for Akrog to succeed him surprised many kin, but it surprised Akrog most of all. True, he was a strong and honorable warrior, but far from the Moonkin's best. All he had was the peculiar gift to hear the voices of the dead, and an iron will to do right by his sire's last words. Was he ready for this? He could not say. Yet when the tribe demands, a troll must bow. And so Akrog found himself giving his first command as a chieftain to be. the Moonkin would travel to Mugwa's cradle, a shrine guarded by the Bonekin trolls, to perform the Devouring, the sacred ritual where the new chieftain consumed the old chieftain's heart to take up his role. This story begins the day the Bruised tribe arrived at the cradle, where Akrog, joined by his mentor Grimlore and his trusted one Zaska, ventured out to find a holy plant for the ritual, Mugwa's tear. Little did Akrog know that the true trial of the Moonkin trolls had just begun.
Okay, once again, there's gonna be a lot of talking.
What the trolls may think of Chieftain Akrog, trust not the foul tusks who say he had everything given to him on a moon silver platter. All because his sire was chieftain before him. Oh no, little cubs. The hunger, the blood rot, the hunters. The Moonkin had become but a shadow, and in the span of a day, it became Akrog's calling to lead them back to Mugwa's light. The day he and his two companions went out to prepare Narjak's last rites would be but the beginning of his troubles.
Are these the ones?
Mugwa's tears, the sacred plants, blessed by the goddess herself.
Pity she always cries in hard-to-reach places. It was a rotten pain to get here.
One blew Akrog to embalm the chieftain's corpse for the devouring. Harm not the others.
Okay, so Zaska is kind of like an edgy edgelord. Grimlore is like the old grandpa, and Akrog is like the stand-up righteous dude.
Akrog wants not to disrespect Mugwa, but why can they not pluck more? This is a brittlebone ruin. If the Moonkin pluck them not, someone else will.
Akrog speaks true, but still, the laws demand it. These blooms are gifts from Mugwa to the sacred earth, and the only time a troll can rip them from the soil is for the rites.
Akrog understands.
So they refer to themselves in the third person. Also, Mugwa is kind of like their deity figure who gave these trolls everything, the ability to talk. And the devouring ritual is where they devour the heart of the dead chieftain to inherit their powers.
Akrog remembers hearing that the brittlebones use these blooms too, no? The sharp-eared ones.
The elves, it is true. They call them Lenya, and greedily tear them from the soil to use for their hexes. Typical lightling ways, if Grimlore is asked. They think themselves so much holier than the dark races. But in the end, all they do is take, and take.
Akrog has a question. If the blooms are so powerful, perhaps they could help with the blood rot. Surely Mugwa would understand.
Akrog's sire said the same thing.
He said that? When?
Oh, hundreds of moons ago. Back when the blood rot first showed. Akrog was still a little cub, and little Moonblood was not yet born. The eyes picked 3 blooms, and Shepherd Crumb brewed a potion from them. But it helped not. In truth, it only made the trolls that drank it worse.
Worse?
The hex power of the blooms is too strong, even for a troll's flesh.
Yeah, so again, there's so much lore, right? The eyes are kind of like the scouts. That's what they call them, the eyes. And shepherds are the trolls who are basically the healers. And all they do is try to help people. heal people in their tribe.
All right.
And it is done. The bloom has been plucked. Back to the cradle then? Before the big little oaf Noag goes mad with worry, thinking they tumbled off a cliff.
Akrog still thinks they should have taken Noag with them. It would have helped his dark thoughts.
Noag's gloom is the reason it would have been unwise to take him. Give him time to mourn. As the moon blood, and soon the same blood of the chieftain, he knows there will be little of that in the moons to come.
Grimlore speaks true.
So Noag is his younger brother.
Let them march back. They have lost too much time already.
Wait, before they leave, Grimlore has an unusual wish. He would like to pluck a bloom for himself.
What for? The devouring?
No, it is... The Moonkin have been running for so long, chieftain. Grimlore dreams that one day they will find a true home somewhere. A tribe camp to last, so to speak.
Again, a lot of lore. They've been on the run because humans have been hunting them. And as he said before, you're only allowed to pluck one flower for the ritual, the devouring ritual.
It is a beautiful idea, but what have Mugwa's tears to do with this?
Well, it may sound foolish, but Grimlore would like to hold on to that bloom and then plant it in the Moonking's future tribe camp, like a totem of hope, to show how far the Moonkin have come. But the choice lies with Akrog. After all, it is against Mugwa's laws.
Yeah, I really like the voice acting. Although one thing that I kinda I'm a little sad about is that it's heavily modulated. So like Warcraft, the movie had the same problem. It wasn't the best movie, but I enjoyed it. Okay, it was not a well-made movie, but if you like Warcraft and Warcraft lore, it was kind of okay. Is that all the orcs sounded the same because they modulate the voices too heavily? I kind of wish they would let the individual actors' voice kind of shine a little bit more. But anyways, again, you can skip all of this. Like these things, these orange options are the ones that will let you progress the game, so you can completely skip all of this dialogue. And if you want to read the dialogue, you can just, you know, just read it and skip to the next part. So you can let him pick it, or you should say no. But
Can the bloom survive that long?
there are things you can look up.
Forget not, Akrog. These are no normal blooms, but ones that brim with Magwa's hex power. Grimlore will need to take good care of it, of course.
Imagine a giant troll just daintily taking care of one flower with like a tiny watering bucket. That's the image I had when I first played this.
Believes Grimlore truly that this tribe camp will ever exist?
To speak the truth, he knows not. But to use Chieftain Nordic's words, when a troll must choose between hope and fear, why choose the latter? So he can be prepared. One can prepare for the worst, while still hope for the best. Fear only darkens the mind.
Fear is the mind killer. Oh man, what a thing to say. Choosing between hope and fear, hope would be better.
Why is Grimlore asking for Akrog's blessing? Akrog is not chieftain yet.
Yet, by the next sunup, he will be.
Fine. Grimlore can pick it.
Grimlore thanks the chieftain. He... There, old fur. His precious little bloom. Zaska should not have done that. The blooms are sacred.
Well, Zaska just did, and he still stands here, looking as good as ever. Now, how about they leave this place?
Fine. Back to the cradle, then.
What now?
Okay,
More trouble?
so I'm just gonna I can't talk. A side note here, it took me roughly 4 hours to beat this first tutorial level because I was reading through and just listening to all the lore. There's so much in here.
This is the place.
So, you know, you can skip through all of that. Obviously, you can probably beat it in less than an hour, maybe 40 minutes if you skip through all of that. But I enjoyed it.
Plan from the start.
What?
Is Trusted One all right?
He is.
So he can hear voices of dead people. That's
And
his
it is open.
special
Strange.
Maybe Zarama could learn a thing
ability.
or two from these ruins.
Brittle bone craftsmanship never brings anything good. Only fools challenge the Moonkin.
Oh, you fools. So it sounds like control
He
click
will
to
protect the tribe.
attack move, so they will
It
attack
is like
anything in the
other
way.
one, but the stick is missing.
Let them look around then. Maybe they can mend it somehow.
That should work.
Work. So you have a shared inventory for everyone. You can like drag and drop items. If you press K, you can see their individual skill trees. As you can see here, he has Gift of the Spirits because he can hear dead people, kind of like in the Sixth Sense. There's a lot of great abilities here. If you have Noag, there's a lot of abilities that kind of synergize with them. Like, let's see here. He gives Noag crit chance, movement speed, and attack speed. And then he can also reduce Noag's damage. And let's see what else. There's a couple skills that are amazing. Plus 20 movement speed and plus 20 attack speed to everyone. And then after that, if it runs out, they gain invulnerability for 5 seconds. That's like a support skill, obviously. But yeah, he has a lot of synergy, and if you look at Noah's skills, he has other skills that kind of interact with Akrog. And honestly, it's kind of interesting how they played with the abilities and the narrative, and they kind of intertwine together a little bit more than usual, where it's just like the gameplay elements are completely separate. So that was kind of nice to see. Yeah, I'm gonna just get out of there. Oh, actually, let's get the healing ward because that's really handy. Although I did spec this character wrong, I gave him no intelligence. But if you get strength, you can increase your HP regen, and willpower will increase your focus regen, whereas intelligence will increase your overall pool, and then strength, or I mean constitution, will increase your overall pool of health, amongst other things. And if you look here, he has no damage because he has very little strength. This is very sad. Anyways, here's a life totem. It's pretty cool. You can level up ability more than once. I guess I can't do it right now. Can I do it after this? I can't. Alright, let's see. 3% multiplier for abilities. That's pretty cool. Murky totem. Slowing enemies. Plus 3 focus. Alright. Zaska, let's see. 3% crit chance. Ooh, he can't move, but he can throw his... Wow, 3 times the attack damage? If target has condition immovable, deal 396 weapon damage to the target. Wow, okay. Yeah, we might as well try that, you know? Okay, Akrog, we'll give him... reduce the resistance of enemies. Okay.
Can a troll not rest for a moment?
What is this? Easy.
So you right click to kind of interact, left click to select. Oops, I'm supposed to go down here. I'm gonna try to kind of rush through the rest of the game now. These are godstones. They are respawn points. If you die, you'll respawn here. You can also teleport between them.
Zaska get a proper look.
You can get wood and resources from like stockpiles around the map.
Bugs, careful.
Let him at them. Why must they plague the Moonkin?
So if you press Alt, you can see your control wheel. And I can't use life totem because I don't have any intelligence and I don't have enough focus.
Maybe take them back.
I messed up. It's okay
Bugs are
though.
bad for the guts. Zaska had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah, you can kind of loot carcasses sometimes, and then when you go back to your base, you can dismantle them for crafting parts.
Go through here.
True. But there is a hex stone. If they can kindle the...
There they are. Trusted one, Nurbok One-Eye. What is he doing here? Looking for them. The fat bonekin chieftain was getting worried.
The tears were harder to find than they thought.
Cub Akrog, Nurbok will tell him one more time. The Moonkin should break off the devouring and move on. If they stay in this clearing for too long, the hunters will come for them. Nurbok, they talked about this. The chieftain must be devoured, so Magua can pass on his power to the chosen chieftain. Narjok would want... What Narjok would want is for the tribe to survive. But Nurbok has said his piece. It is clear the tribe would rather listen to a fresh tusk cobbling who hears voices in the wind.
He clearly doesn't like him. Also, he actually has one eye. If you look, there's another one where, going with the lore, there's a guy, there are two trolls and one abandoned him and he got his tusk pulled by hunters. And if you look at his picture, he actually has one tusk missing. Okay, so I'm gonna skip this because again, just for time's sake. But again, I really like the lore. I really like the voice acting. Every line is voice acted, and it's incredible that there's so much voice acting in this game.
Sire Narjak was the last firstborn of the trolls and the greatest chieftain there ever was. He deserves to leave this world with honor.
Zaska could not agree more. If everyone got what they deserved, every worker would have their own iron beak. Make no mistake, Nurbok treasured Narjak like he treasures Grimlore. But Narjak was a great chieftain because he put others first. Surely Akrog knows that, after what his sire did for Nurbok and Akrog both. Akrog knows, Nurbok. But what honor have the trolls left if they let these rotten brittle bones crush even their most sacred traditions? Now, can Nurbok kindle the hex stone? He can. Oh, and Zaska Small Tusk? What? Nurbok knows the Small Tusk has been scheming. He will keep an eye on him. Then how will he see where he is going?
Because he only has one eye.
About Zaska scheming.
Scheming makes it sound very bad. He will tell Trusted One Akrog after the devouring. Kin should not have secrets from each other, Zaska. And Grumwar would know all about that, no? Head towards certain
Okay.
doom.
So you kind of like go here, and then you can pick them to link the two stones together, and then bam, you're there, and he hunted an animal.
What is Akrog waiting for? They need to bring the tears to the Bonekin.
That bear. Nurbok crushed it?
Nurbok crushed it, but it was already hurt when he came here. Maybe a Bonekin hunter killed it then. Or a brittle bone. Anuk's eyes have scouted the jungle. They say there is no one in sight. neither Brittlebone nor Greenskin. True. Well, it will be a good meal for the ill and wounded. Nurbok will take it back to the tribe. A wise idea. Best ask Crumb who needs it most.
Akrog will leave now. Will Nurbok join the devouring?
He will. But there is something else he has to look into first.
Sharp tusks and thick hide, then.
I like how he takes forever getting that bear ready, but Crom is the medic. They referenced him before. I messed up so much building. He doesn't have enough focus.
May Magua guide his hands. Time to move on. He might be old, but his tusks are still sharp.
So I kind of want to point out it's very funny how the trolls name things. Let's see. Got throwing spike, hack stick, crush stick. You know. Alright.
Something about this jungle always makes Akrog's hide crawl.
Interesting. Probably.
By the holy hide, if it is not chosen chieftain, Akrog Bone Whisper. Cabrax was about to ask the bones if something happened to them.
Chieftain Cabrax, Mugwa prays. It is true, finding the tears was harder than they thought. The Brittlebone ruin was swarming with bugs.
Good for the tears, bad for the many Brittlebone treasure hunters who search them. Ha! Come, show him. Ah, good. Very good. Mugwa will be pleased. Now all they need is a tooth.
A sacred pierce stick. The Bonekin have none of their own.
Oh, of course they do. But the Moonkin will need to shape their own for their sacrifice.
Okay, so I'm gonna skip this lore, but I'll just mention it. So the Blood Giver, there's the vessel. Basically, 2 trolls have to be sacrificed. So a troll from the Moonkin tribe will be devoured by a troll from the Bonekin side. The Bonekin are a tribe of trolls that live in this cradle, Mugwa's cradle, guarding the plants and the sacred sites. And there's a small tribe of basically magical trolls. They can use magic. They call it hex power. And then the Moonkin troll will eat that person, their heart, whatever, and then they die, and then they spill their blood, and it summons a gigantic troll creature, Mugwa's cub. I don't know why they have to do this, but it's part of the ritual. And then after that, then he can use that tooth they're talking about to cut the heart out and eat it, and then transfer Nurjak's power into Akrog. Yeah.
How can they shape a tooth? Grimlore,
Just like how the Moonkin shape their other weapons. All Akrog must do is find a hex.
where can they find a...
Oh, there are many places in this jungle. But Cabrax believes he heard the Moonkin's mouth.
His name is Zeramak. But good, Akrog will speak to him. Oh, and Chieftain Cabrax. Akrog is not chieftain yet, but he still thanks Cabrax in the name of the tribe. He knows many Bonekin wanted not the Moonkin so close to their shrine, with the hunters and the blood rot. Cabrax took a risk helping them, and Akrog will not forget it.
Look at that! The cub has his sire's silver tongue.
No, Akrog means it. Only the Bonekin can do the devouring. If not for Cabrax, Narjak would never find his way into the moonlit river, and Akrog could never be blessed with Narjak's strength.
True, true. But Narjak was not only a great chieftain, but also the last firstborn troll. To give him his last rites is a great honor. And as for the fool tusks afraid of catching the blood rot, What they need most is a fat fist to the face. They should know the rot cannot be passed from one troll to another, and be glad the Bonekin were mostly spared. Now off with Akrog. That tooth will not shape itself.
So be it. Sharp tusks and thick hide.
Sharp
Chieftain
tusks
Cabrax.
and thick hide, Mugwa praise.
To the
Also,
tribe camp.
They
again,
should look for Noag too. Let them hope he has done nothing silly.
They will.
again with the lore, the blood rot again it's a deadly disease for trolls, and a lot of trolls think it's contagious, but it can't be passed on. So here's the tribe. Oh, let's see. Can we talk to this guy?
Go there. Let Akrog see.
What is it that Warrior Nog needs?
Well, he feel foolish to ask.
Just speak.
Well, Tamer Julog, he say anything about Nog?
Like what?
Well, there is no good way to say it. Talag, Julog's trusted one. Nog there when hunters kill him.
Talig. Akrog remembers. That was many moons ago, was it not?
It is true, but Nog still remembers all too clearly. Talag fight like a true warrior, and Nog by his side. But then the hunters get too many, and Nog gets scared and run. He even hear Talag scream as the hunter untusk him and... Well, no matter. Nog want to ask Akrog if Julog would forgive him if he apologized for leaving Talag. Akrog has the gift of spirits, so he can know thoughts of the tribe, no?
I'm sorry. Akrog cannot read thoughts.
No? But he is blessed by Mugwa, and...
All the gift of spirits does is make him sleep badly and hear voices in the wind. But sometimes he wishes he could read thoughts. It would make things easier, especially now that he is about to be chieftain. Nog should just tell Julog he is sorry after the devouring. Let Julog decide whether to forgive him or not.
Nog see. Akrog is right. He must ask and hope for the best. Sometimes that is all a troll can do.
Nog speaks true. Now sharp tusks and thick hide. Akrog must prepare the devouring.
Sharp tusks and thick hide.
Man, it is so funny because, like, you know, these trolls are just like people. Now, that's obviously the thing they're going for, but, like, sometimes they have, like, these really serious moments, and I can't take it seriously because the voices, you know, the way they're talking sounds a little bit goofy, so there's, like, a comedic undertone to everything for me. And I don't know if that was their intention, but anyways, look at how much lore there is.
What? Oh, chosen
This is
chieftain
Julag.
Elder Grafer. Mugwa praise.
Magua praise. Hello to Julog too.
Are the beaks well?
Well, most are, but Zekil and Urax starve. Crumb gave them some herbs against hunger, but they are still restless. How goes the devouring? The sooner the Moonkin can move on, the better.
They are still preparing it. Sharp tusks and thick hide, Julog.
Sharp tusks and thick hide.
The beaks are right here. Birds.
Let's ask. Ah, chieftain back. Good, good. What he need?
The Moonkin need to craft
Truth? A key. Not yet.
maybe.
But the
Akrog will look.
he will. The chosen chieftain might be able to help Slick if he has time. Just come
Akrog
and
needs Zeraman.
what he need?
Okay, so I just skipped through that. He gave him a key because there's a they need a human weapon with magic power to make the ritual too. Anyways, you can take all the stuff that you get here and dismantle it. I'll tell you what you get. Blades. You cannot use human weaponry, it's just meant to be dismantled. And then when you get your materials, as shown here, if you have enough, you can go in and craft these weapons. Like you can compare it if you hover over it with your current gear on Akrog. Let's see. What's going on is this, I thought this was the armor. Why is it comparing with weapon? Anyways, I'm not gonna make it.
All right. Zeramak said the cave is to the north. No little blood. Strange.
Hopefully he did nothing foolish.
There.
Better. Good.
Elder Magua power the not with my dot. Sometime almost would Crumb.
Strange. No, Crumb has seen him not.
Akrog.
He should. And no.
All right. Sharp
Okay.
tusks and thick hide, Crumb. Moving down.
So that was Crumb, the healer.
For the moon kid.
You have to go find him.
The blood
I really misspect Grongar. He's kind of useless right now.
guide his hands.
Okay.
What is this?
I think there's something
Should be
down
Nerbog.
here.
Akrog
Yeah.
too young. Oh, chosen chieftain.
If he insists.
Only fools challenge the moonkin.
Only fools challenge the moonkin.
Let Akrog see.
He will protect the tribe. Why must they plague the moonkin? Time to move on. In
Wow,
that
he's
direction.
getting wrecked.
He might be old, but his tasks are still sharp.
Can Zaska help? What is this?
What is that? Interesting.
Interesting.
Probably.
Interesting. Okay.
He is on his way.
I skipped a lot of stuff. There's a lot of trolls you can talk to. Kind of
What is
does
that?
an incredible job of like building up the world and
Let Zaska get a proper look. Bloodburn.
continue to
That was
like
the name of the hex plague that had caused the rot
build these
600
characters.
moons ago. It came from a land far across the water, and its bite was felt by the races in different ways. Elves were barely affected. Brittle bones died slowly. Greenskins quickly and brutally. The bloodburn was weaker on Urgath, but it affected its creatures nonetheless. The trolls were left cursed with weak flesh and cubs who died before they could be born.
So the brittle bones are humans, obviously because they aren't as strong as trolls and they can crush them easily. The greenskins are goblins, and apparently the goblins enslave the trolls. I don't know how that works out. You got the elves.
All right. A tiny pierce stick with hex power, Gabrak said. Let them find it.
And keep their crush sticks ready. Zeramak said there were beasts.
Okay.
Ready for action.
Lead the way.
I like how there's a lot of like checkpoints. I think that this campaign is done really
Going
well.
now, on his way.
Go join the world. Great. More problems to solve.
Can I use... I can't use this yet. It's so sad. So some abilities you gotta mouse over people and then use it. Oh, he is dying. Let's run away.
Go join the world. Head towards certain doom. Sure. Why not? This way. Moving on. Let him at them. Great. More problems to smash. Head towards certain doom.
Oh god. Why doesn't he have all the aggro?
This way, if he insists.
Just run away. He's going to die.
Moving on.
Oh god.
Towards certain doom.
Oh jeez. Why do I do no damage?
Guide his hand.
I made a terrible mistake.
Will protect the tribe. May Magua curse them. Only fools challenge the moonkin. Why must they plague the moonkin? He will protect the tribe.
Here's the bite of the Moon King.
Zaska has been worse. Can Zaska help?
Work.
What is needed of him?
Interesting.
Yeah, I expect the characters wrong. This is kind of like reminding me of Celesta,
Go there.
where I made a rogue with no dexterity and no dexterity skills, so it was all like conversational skills. Oh god, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Okay.
He might be old, but his tusks are still sharp.
It's like a naked mole creature. Where's he going?
Enemies killed a hero.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a rough time. Yeah. A very, very rough time.
Die next.
You can resurrect them if you right mouse button over them with someone. Okay.
What can he do for the tribe?
Let Akrog say.
But yeah, going back to Celesta, I built my character so wrong, it's hilarious. I wanted to make a bard, because there was no bard option, and it did not work out. He was the first to die every single battle.
He is going. I should be.
Run away.
Direction.
Akrog is ready.
What on Urgath is this?
What on earth is this?
If he insists.
Oh, this part's hilarious.
So many shiny things.
Grimlore has any idea?
No! No touching! Fat troll hands don't touch Zippet's gold! No!
Mugwas.
No cause for worry. Just a tiny spirit greenskin. It is harmless.
Harmless? Zippet will show the fat brutes harmless. You see these bones, yes? They were two adventurers who starved to death because Zippet kept the magic walls up for 100 years.
Why don't you zip it and get it out of here?
You can care not about the shiny things, but they need something with hex power.
Hex what?
Magic.
Magic.
Oh, you mean an artifact, yes? Fine. Zippet doesn't want to stay here for 100 years, no. So here's his deal. Zippet gives you one of his artifacts, and the fat brutes hand back his gold. Everybody happy, yes?
What is this artifact they will get in return? They need something strong, with hex power.
It, is strong. Owned by a very powerful pale-skinned mage. Yes.
A hex stick then. What can it do? Throw fireballs? Raise the dead?
Well, no. Cut potatoes. By itself, floating, yes. Very useful, very strong. And the pale skin loved it.
It should be fine, Akrog. Just a bit of hex power will be enough.
It's a knife that floats and cuts potatoes by itself. Now, honestly, I would love to have a knife like that, so I don't know why they're complaining. But yeah, that's hilarious.
Fine, they have a pact.
Yes, yes. Now give Zippet the gold.
Grimlore is here.
What is this?
So you know, this is how you buy stuff. You take it from this side, and then it uses money.
Oh, beautifuls. Come back to Zippet. Yes.
My precious.
Gone. Grungwar. Spirits are just like bone people, no? Restless souls and all.
It is true. His soul was not at peace, so his god took him into the moonlit river and...
Just get out of him, okay? This place gives me the creeps.
Akrog, is he all right?
It is just... he has been hearing things again.
The gift of spirits?
It is true, but this is the second time in a day. Before that, Akrog had not heard a spirit in moons.
Maybe the cradle makes Akrog's gift stronger?
Grimlore thinks not. His own gifts are still the same. It must be something else in this jungle, or just chance.
Well, now is not the time to think. Let them try this key, so they can bring the artifact back to Zeramak.
Ready for action.
Ready for action. Work.
Take a closer look. There, the artifact.
All right. Now back to the tribe camp, to ask Zeramak if this is enough to shape the tooth.
Okay.
Grimlore is ready.
A magical floating knife.
May Magua guide his hands.
Let him
At
act out.
his service, why must they plague the Moonkin?
Can Zaska help?
Grimlore is here.
What should he do?
Work.
Go join the worms. They will not get away from Zaska.
Oh no.
Zaska is listening.
Only fools challenge the Moonkin.
Only fools challenge the Moonkin.
Why must they plague the Moonkin?
The wrong
He
tribe.
might be old, but his tusks are still sharp.
Go join the worms.
He is on his way.
Can a troll not rest for a moment?
See.
May Magua guide his hands.
They will not get away from Zaska.
I'm gonna meet up with Noag soon. And they don't repeat the things that you already
All right.
heard.
Let them find Little Blood, then bring this to Zeramak. They must complete the devouring before sundown.
It will all work out. Grimlore feels it. Magua smiles upon them.
Wonderful. Then what could go wrong?
Why, Zaska?
Why would you say
must
that?
He always blaspheme. Zaska knows how difficult his role in the tribe is. Wants everyone to shun him.
Wait. Zaska's jokes are why they like him not? He always thought they were just jealous of his pretty face.
Zaska is avoiding the question.
No. Zaska is just not in the mood for being questioned by an old, ailing troll.
Fine. If Zaska wants to stay an outcast among kin, then so be it. Just say not that Grimlore tried not to help him.
Sure. Pure, holy Elder Grimlore Oldfur only wanted to help.
Just gonna leave.
Zaska can blaspheme all he likes, but he should not disrespect Grimlore. He must apologize, now.
Leave it, chieftain. Nothing he has said is untrue. Grimlore is old and Grimlore is ailing. Either way, let them move on.
Okay. Oh man, it's just so much lore that I'm leaving out, but it's okay.
Go on, crush! They hear?
Noak, quick.
I regret his build. He's no damage, all health.
May Magua curse them.
Go squish! Let Zaska...
They see Noak strong. He make Eric go
Brittlebone who'll kill Sire. All of them. As long as he leaves a handful for Zazka. Zazka get 5. Noag 5T. 50. Why is Noag out here
55.
alone? It is dangerous. Maybe for old Grumph. No for Noag. He's strong. He is, but he is also the Moonblood, and the tribe needs him. Hunter Eric was killed by a wild wyvern just a few sundowns ago. What? Noag, not Eric. And tribe like Noag cause he's strong. How he can stay strong if he always hiding in his shelter?
This is not about hiding. It is about being strong together with the tribe. It is true, Little Blood can crush many Erics alone, but he will still only be one troll. The Moonkin together, though, they could crush all the Erics on Urgith.
Noag understand.
Noag learned to
But
value the
will be
tribe.
stronger then, lots stronger. So next hunter attack, they will crush them all and build shelter from their bones and feed their flesh to the Moonkin cubs. Mugwa septic utters, Noag. Take a deep breath. The hunters are not here. But will be. And if Noag been stronger last time, Sire would still be here, and
Oh, Little Blood. Calm. Be calm.
The
It is
crybaby.
not his fault Sire is dead.
is. Everyone say Noag Moonblood. Noag blessed because he's so strong, but he not. When hunters came, he can do nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
You guys have to remember he's like a
And
kid.
neither could Akrog, or anyone. Noag is a Moonblood, it is true. But Sire was a First Blood, 10 times stronger than even Nurbok. It is good to grieve kin, and it can be good to be angry. But Little Blood must not let this anger turn into despair. Else he will, one day, do something bad.
Sire always say the same thing. Big Blood right. Noag sorry. He be calm now. It's all right, Noag. They all understand. So we just went out here to show the tribe he is strong and to unleash his anger? No, not only. He needs something from the Eric. It's... how say... guts? Should Sazka dare to ask why? It's the prize for Crumple Noag make with Zeramak. Noag can take guts, Big Blood?
Sure, but he will accompany them afterwards. It is better this way.
Ready for action. Noag here. Interesting. Wrap them. They go back to Zeramak now?
He uses it to make a guitar, sort of like a bone guitar for Crumple, so he can ask him to become his trusted one. Let's just say things don't end well. I'm gonna end soon, cause otherwise,
Blood, he is back. It is true. Crumple! Oh, Noag. Noag needs so Crumple something, but later.
they talk to each other too. It's pretty cool.
This looks interesting.
Scrapper Slig Stoutheart. He wanted to speak with Akrog?
It is true, chosen chief. He has.
Okay, I'm gonna skip through it.
Perfect. So, has the... He has... all right. He will
So
see him soon.
basically, this guy's a scrapper, and he's like, "Oh, I get so distracted by the loot. I need someone to watch out for me, otherwise I'm gonna get attacked." So you can go down and kind of guard him as he collects scrap.
What this? Moonblood. Mug out till he Moonblood. No.
Little Blood? He wanted to give Zeramak some...
It smells as... look.
From
pretty.
Songbone.
Like Zeramak.
What is this? A hammer?
A songbone.
Is this a weapon?
greenskin
It's like,
slave
no.
drums. but this one makes long sounds like an iron beak's call. They mean music? It is true. This is for Crumb, then, Noag. What is the occasion? They see.
All right.
What next?
Akrog needs Zeramak.
What he need?
So you take the artifact, you dismantle it to make hex essence. With that, you can craft the ritual tooth.
Ah, Zeramak, old hide. He have it still. Here, chieftain, Mugwa's tooth.
Akrog thanks, Zeramak. To Cabrax, then. Oh, and Zeramak's scrappers can search the cave now. It is safe.
But need give Crumple surprise first.
Right.
Oh, what a needy little child.
Where was Noag? Crumb got worried. Make something for Crumple. Just show him, Noag. He will like it. Here, gift. A song wood. No, a song bone. But how did Noag make this? And why is he giving it to Crumb? Zeramak helped Noag make it. And he, well, Crumple always helped Noag, just like Big Blood Zaska and Sire. Noag he want to ask.
Oh, spit it out already. He wants to make Crumb his trusted one, no?
It true. That is very kind of Noag. Crumb will gladly be Noag's trusted one. Well, it is settled then. Shepherd Crumb kind soul and Moonblood Noag just struck the bond of trust. Noag, thanks. He will be good trusted one to Crumple.
Calm, little blood. You can speak with Crumple again later. There is much to do.
Or will
His same
he?
blood is right.
Dun dun dun.
Crumb thanks Noag again. He will start making sounds as soon as he can. If these old fingers allow it, that is.
Akrog is listening.
Okay, I'm gonna end it here, but I'm gonna spoil a little bit of the story because you can kind of see it coming from miles away. But after, oh, let's get the prize. You can select one. Let's see. Crude hack stick is way better than. Oh, it's two-handed. Yeah, we'll do this. I can equip it. Doesn't have enough strength? Why? Oh no, I made him. Oh shoot, that's right. I made him all health. This is the worst build ever. It's so bad. Yeah, don't build it like this, guys. Okay, anyways. I'm gonna spoil it because it's gonna take a while, but basically, you go do the ritual and it kind of shows you how to use the RTS aspect of the game. Now, I know it seems very slow paced, but once you get out of this area, it starts to pick up a lot. But it's kind of unique in that you have villagers in your main hub, and then you click on a building and then right click on the assigned builder icon and it'll come out and do it automatically for you, so you don't really micro as much as other RTS games for that sort of stuff. And it's also interesting in that, like, you build a hut that trains trolls. A builder needs to carry food and the required materials into the training hut, and then it'll spawn the dude. And then you take the guy and then you send him into a physical camp. He just pops in for a little bit, disappears, pops out, and he gets better. So it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of kind of like management involved as opposed to microing individual units, and some of it is automated, so it kind of takes away kind of like a lot of like focusing on all those resource management stuff. I don't know if that's a turn on or turn off for some people, but anyways, everyone dies. And then pretty much everyone dies, and then you're left with a few stragglers, and then you go to meet with the human who has a proposal where he's mysterious, he has a mask on, he basically wants them to free one of the demigods that helped trolls escape. It's imprisoned by other humans. It's sealed because they couldn't kill them, and he wants them to free the demigod. And then once they do, the demigod may be able to help them in getting rid of the hunters and curing the blood rot. And then he will benefit as well, but he won't tell them how or why. And there's some issues because the demigod doesn't really like trolls, etc. So that's where the story really picks off. This is just the intro. I'm telling you guys a little bit, spoiling it a little bit, but when you see for yourself, you're like, oh, this turned from 0 to 11 real fast. Anyways, I'm gonna end it here because hopefully this kind of gave you guys an idea what the game is sort of like. I didn't really do it justice in that the game, you know, picks up a lot in terms of pacing after this part. But it still has all this talking, all voice acted, a lot of lore, and I really like it. I think I liken it more to an RPG because you're role-playing as Akrog and the Moonkin, and they have so much lore and dialogue to build these characters up that you kind of really get to know them and like them, and how silly the trolls can be at times. But yeah, it's very interesting. A lot of interesting stuff happens. But I'm gonna end it here, otherwise it'll take hours and hours and you can get lost in playing the game. Again, the game is SpellForce 3 Fallen God, developed by Grimlore Games, published by THQNordic, and out now for $24.99. That's the MSRP. Obviously you can get it for sale later. Anyways, thank you so much for dropping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, things you'd like to see or for me to cover, please feel free to leave a comment down below. And as always, hope you guys are staying safe and sane out there, and catch you guys next time. Work.